How you guys doing? Welcome to the 414 Winning Podcast. I am Armando.
I'm Daryl.
We just gonna go over our previews for today's game and just a quick recaps of Game 3. Game 3, we kind of predicted it. Indiana come out fighting, come out hungry. That energy from the crowd kind of propelled them to that W. We called it. Shea Alexander wasn't going to have that great of a game. Although he had 22 points. It just wasn't efficient.
Those weren't Shea numbers.
Yeah. A lot of missed free throws at the end for the Thunder and a lot of costly mistakes. There was one point in the game where it was 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and Shea only had, I want to say, one field goal attempt. So it looked like at that point he didn't even really want the ball.
Yeah.
You called it that Indiana will win by 5+ points in Game 3.
Man, I called it, but I ain't do nothing with that information.
So yeah, if you was a betting man, you definitely would have won some money.
Man, if we bet on that, y'all probably would be seeing us in a state-of-the-art studio right now. but hey, when we tell y'all to do something, y'all should just do it. Cause Prize Picks, DraftKings, man, come talk to us. Cause we've been pretty good so far.
Yeah. So the Thunder shot 46% from the field, which isn't bad. 46% from the 3-point line. They had 19 turnovers and 42 rebounds. Indiana shot 52% from the field, only 33% from the 3-point line. They had 14 turnovers and 36 rebounds. So I would say all but one category, Indiana looked like they should have lost this game.
Yeah.
But it's something about the heart of a champion that you just can't count out.
Yeah, but also what you had mentioned, the field goal percentage, they did exactly what you said that they should do. They attacked the interior. They're not the best 3-point shooting team, so they didn't really put up as many threes as they did the previous game, but they found a way to get inside and it worked.
Yep. Attack from the wings. You dribble, you drive, you collapse the defense, and you have another cutter coming baseline, like I was saying, and you find easy buckets. And that's what I said, Indiana needed to find easy buckets, and that was their way of finding easy buckets. And then what I say, Game 2, second half was more like a cat and mouse game where I'm going to try different defenses and for short periods of time because I don't want to show you my hand. And then Game 3, all of those little defensive schemes that they had in the second half of Game 2, they did it. So they start to pick up Shea full court with multiple defenders. Every time he came off of a screen, they hedged or they showed, and sometimes they even doubled, so they was throwing him off with different coverages. And then when he get the game in the post, sometimes they come hard.
Whoa, shaky.
Pause. So sometimes they have run. And they had double
Like the open run that you went to earlier.
So sometimes they had just come and they had just double him and then in the low post and force the ball out of his hands. And sometimes they had faked the double just to get him thinking, which was good. And then you see the rotations were better where they call it kind of like that next or that tag defense where it's just we're going to load up on one side. And then whoever is doubling Shea, by the time they swing the ball in the corner, you have to come from off of Shea and you have to hurry up and sprint to the corner and run them off the 3-point line. So all that stuff was working. Pascal, Game 2, 15, Game 3, 21. Tyrese went from 17 to efficient 22 points, which he was one rebound away from a triple-double.
And we were calling that he was going to get one.
Yeah.
So.
Mathurin, he had 27 big points off the bench. McConnell played huge in that game also. And then just your two main ball handlers for Oklahoma, they had 10 turnovers combined, and Shea had 6 of them. So yeah, it was a pretty overall good game for the Pacers.
Yeah. And they made every turnover that OKC had, Indiana, they capitalized and they made it count.
Yeah, so I would like to say Indiana is going to win tonight, but I don't think they can replicate what they did yesterday, game 3, I feel like that was just all predicated off of the crowd.
Yeah.
They was feeding off the crowd. So I don't know if you can replicate that because a lot of those game-changing plays were McConnell just sticking around in the front court and just getting steals.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much they can replicate that. Oklahoma, they haven't lost back-to-back games yet. They're 5-0 when it comes to that. So I don't know if this is going to be the first time that they're going to lose 2 games back-to-back. If they do, the series is over.
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of me is feel like whoever wins tonight, that's the series.
I agree because if Indiana wins, they go back to OKC up 3. No, well, the format has changed. Like, so they're doing 3 games in Indiana, right? Or did they change that format again?
They always change it.
Yeah, I'm not even certain anymore because I think it might be 2-3-1-1. But I'm not sure. But if Indiana wins, this series is over. The Pacers are the champion. I don't think the Pacers are winning tonight. If this game goes to overtime, because it looks like this series has to have an overtime game. If this goes into overtime and Indiana wins this, it is over.
Yeah.
I'm just not confident that Indiana is going to win tonight. I mean, even with them being in Indiana, the feverish crowd and stuff, I don't see it.
I see a blowout.
I see Shea probably dropping like upwards to 50.
Yeah. So, I know I've been saying Indiana. My heart want to say Indiana because I'm rooting for the underdog. But I don't know. I just feel like this is one of them games.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning in to our early morning predictions and recap. Let us know what you think in the comments. It's Big Girl.
If heaven offer rides, Lord, order me a lift. I'm just trying to be in your presence till you bless me with this gift. All of my friends dead and gone, no time to right their wrong.